Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Episode 231 of Another Pod Do Not Relent is here in your living room. I'm Slidewhistle.
Oh, Slidewhistle not only has a slide whistle, but also a harmonica now? Cool, I guess. I'm sure that will sound great on audio. But it is Immunization.
He's a regular one-man band with all of his many blowables over there. Also, hey, it's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire, and Horde Punching Bag.
They call me Blows Traveler.
Yeah, 'cause he blows, 'cause he stinks! He's
Honestly,
a soul
that's so
gem!
mean.
He's a soul gem!
Yeah, I love Blues Brothers. Wait, this is a bad intro. We got a lot of WoW to talk about, but before we get to that, we got a hot review to read.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
So I have pulled this up. It was a review sent to us via email, which you can, as a reminder, you can send us a review however you want. Like, we'll probably find it eventually, but like the normal ways will get it to us quicker. And we will take a shot, read it on air, whatever it is, good, bad. But yes, we have a 5-star email review from Wooly, host of Thrall's Balls, so shout out to them. But Wooly says, "Hey guys, realized I've never written you guys a proper review and I'm bored at work, so buckle up, bitches. This pod is fucking awesome and is my favorite active podcast, WoW-related or otherwise. Your mix of humor and knowledge accompanies my drive to work every Friday or Saturday and makes me just want to go home and play. 5 motherfucking stars, brother." And then the review ends there, but then he kind of has a little bit of like a D an hour thought. Some discussion and thoughts about like classes and race combos, which we can talk about later, but like we have a lot of WoW news to talk about, so we will bank this and get back to it later. But like in honor of the review section, we will be taking a shot now.
Hear ye, brother. Glasses to the sky. Clink.
Yes, here I go with a shot of rum. Hoo-hoo.
Thank you, Wooly. We always look forward to your many reviews, because that is actually the second one. But if you want to do a third one, I mean, I'm always willing to hear my praises sung.
Oh my god. Did you give me a double? Sorry, I was... Ugh.
No, I just filled up the shot glass. I did the same for me.
You pulled up this one to the...
That's a normal shot glass. It's the same as the other ones.
I think it's a thick boy.
Speaking of thick men, I want to talk about our latest kill in Arborus, the super stinky lab. And it was the ghostly image of Neltharion himself.
Yeah, the Echo of Neltharion we got down this week, and we brought in a hot new strategy. We were doing it completely different last week, and this strategy, I will just say, is a lot better. We didn't realize that, like, when the walls are destroyed, it just, like, does raid-wide damage, so we just didn't. We just, like, let the tank be thrown in whenever we needed to move, and I feel like this strategy was a lot easier.
Yeah, for anyone who does not know, Echo of Neltharion, the whole thing is he will summon a series of interlinked walls all around the arena, and he'll do a big wind-up whirlybird and smack someone into these walls, and you have to use them to go around the arena and get to specific spots. But like Immune just said, we just went around the circumference of the room the whole time. It was real weird, but it did a lot less damage. It was a lot more manageable.
Yeah, this strat was so much better. Like, how many pulls did it take us? Was it 2, 3?
2, I believe 2 with this new hotness, and he was defeated.
Yeah, and it was quite different from last week, because last week I feel like our strategy that we had last week, we were barely making it to phase 2 even, and this one just felt a lot easier.
Honestly, our whole strategy from this week, from last week, was so much better. Last week, we were so fucking slow. We talked for like 35 minutes each boss. We were like, go, 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 kill, kill, kill. Like, barely saying really anything, pretty much.
Yeah, which I feel like on normal we can get away with, like, just going. So it was nice to just get, like, we cleared up to the final boss, Sarkareth, on our first night of the week of raiding, which is crazy. And we even got like a first pull-in on Tuesday on Sarkareth, where we just pulled without any explanation.
Yeah, if you're out there thinking, wait, that's not very fast at all. This guild It traditionally does really bad if you haven't heard the news. So they get there eventually, but they're slow as molasses. The Sarkareth mechanics, we're almost there. We're like so close to figuring out what we have to do to finish them off.
Yeah, I feel like we can reliably get to the start of Phase 3 now, but I think we're fucking something up with, like, either the placement of those pillars that we have to hide behind, or destroying them, or something in that transition we're doing wrong.
Yeah, it's in the transition from Phase 2 to 3, he creates meteors that have purple explosions. He puts 3 purple explosions on people. He creates his own, like 2/3 of the arena purple explosion, and one of them we are messing up, so everyone keeps dying. But I really have kept my little peepers out. I don't know what it is we're goofing up on, like, or if it's just people need to get their next week of gear so they're a little beefier.
Which will be coming, because like I actually kind of like how the raid gear, while it appears a little bit lower in the vault, we can upgrade it, which is nice. And then also we've been getting like a lot of people some keys done, so I feel like next week we'll come back like significantly stronger.
Well, and there's also the fact that Lynn, who's our raid leader, he had to leave an hour early, and so our raid time kind of got clipped when we would have definitely learned the mechanics in that hour. I felt an 11:15 Uno Mas. We could have had it.
We definitely could have done it if Lynn wasn't moving. I feel like threatening his his real estate agent right now, just to make sure he never does this again.
Dude, 1v1 me in front of the Stormwind gates. I'll be there. Bring whoever you want.
Oh no. Are you going to face off against Abby Abley in Abby the Aberrus?
Yes, fuck Stormwind. We're fighting an Abby the Aberrus. I mean, we're going to be hitting heroic pretty quickly, I feel like, which really, I think, speaks volumes for the tuning that they have done to raids compared to Shadowlands. We were doing the normal bosses for so long in our guild in the previous tiers.
I do think it's a tier 2 thing where a lot of us are coming in with like mythic plus gear. We're like at a much higher eye level comparatively to the rewards from this normal raid than what we would have been at the beginning of like the expansion for the first tier, at least.
Not everybody. You got some, people. Lots of people don't even do keys. I feel like maybe half of them don't.
Well, yeah, but like still half of us having that advantage compared to none of us having that advantage.
And you're right, because also we have formed a super group between Team 1 and Team 2, the 2 raid teams that were 1. I don't know what's going to happen next week when Kata, their raid lead, and Wildy, their main tank for the other group, returns to playing WoW. But we basically took all of their best DPS, and then they don't have any healers. So our healers with their DPS, we're killing shit.
Yeah, we really do have like a really honed in like fight squad here. Like, I don't know what will happen in the future. And also you've been trying to do a little bit of recruiting as well on the side, right?
Yeah, yep. I've been putting my little sniffers out there. Okay, back to Sarkis really quick. Okay, so he's a regular ass like little yellow Drakthir, right? Where do I sign up to absorb this void power to become this hulking fucking sweet brute? Because I want to be that.
Apparently, like 2 of the failed experiments are also big and like purple highlighted and lightning breath. So there's some sort of magic juice going on in there in Abby the Aberrus that I feel like Bai needs to get down with.
I mean, I feel like if any of the other aspects knew that Nelthy Daddy was down in here cooking like this, they probably would have called the cops on him. Like, there's some heavy void crystal magic happening down in here.
Also, okay, so like I'm really bad at paying attention to in-story lore as it comes across in raids. I don't know why. I think because I'm like looking at like my other screen to figure out like what's best for me. So the Echo of Notherian is walking around, right? Like the raid. But like he's walking with Rathian and he's like, Rathian, these Drakthir haven't done anything good. They're worthless. I need you to be better. And he's like, yes, Daddy, I will. So, like, why is Rathian playing around? Is it just so he can, like, get more information? Or
no, it's because, and this is, I'm glad that you've mentioned in raid lore here. I have my notebook full of it. That's the whole shtick of the raid, is that So on the left wing, Rathian is going around, and he's like, both he and Sibelian are like, we're in here because we need to uncover what Neltharion knew to make him so powerful. And both of them have their own journey where it's like, okay, Neltharion's talking about this kind of power. Oh, well, he's talking about like the using this power for evil stuff. I don't know if I want to do that. And then for both of them, Neltharion's like, wow, I didn't know you were such a shitheel. Maybe your brother is better. And it sort of leaves them with like, oh, beans, is he right? Am I the inferior one? And then it's not until you delve in the middle when it's revealed like, oh, you guys were terrible. Like, I never thought of you as my children or as my heirs. It's not about blood. It's about just like, evil power for me, which is why I give my support to Sarkareth, which plays into the ending that everyone is hating on.
Which we can get to in a second, but like there's something that I want to talk to before as well, which I was a little behind in catching up on the story this week, and I just caught up on the campaign. And at the end of the campaign, I thought it was really weird that like Abyssian and Emberthal were like, yeah, you two, like meaning like Rathian and Sibelian, you two go on into the Abbey, and then Abyssian's like, no, I won't be doing that. And I thought that was really fucking weird, honestly.
I guess because the way I saw it was Abyssian was like, there's nothing in there like for me that I need to personally oversee. You guys will go and kill Sarkareth, but I'm almost like, I'm unwilling to face what my father did. Like, I don't need to unlock any sort of power in there. I guess it's weird to be like, you got this, champions, waves hand. Like, you can kill him. But I guess that's it. He's just like, I'll tend to other matters. I don't need to go on a power trip in here.
He's like super smart. He is like, okay, so in a horror movie, like he's the one that's going to survive. He's like, I'm not going to go in there. My dad was corrupted by whispers. They almost got you, Rathian. Like, why would he even think to expose himself? He's like, no, fuck that. I'm not going anywhere near this ghost. It'll kill me.
So what you're saying is that canonically Abyssian is the last girl of this patch?
He is. He's the last girl.
That does make sense. Whenever he runs, it's always with urgency, but not too much. He does love flailing and has a tendency to bust his ankle. But we do know, I am proud to know he will get out of there eventually. At least until the sequel when they bring him back as a legacy character and he is killed for shock value.
No, I hate when they fucking do that. But this just fucking reminds me, like, I need to pay. I always do this with raid lore. I need to turn off my K-pop boys and just like focus on what's happening on my screen.
No, because I do it too. And I don't know what it is about like raid in particular, because like when I'm out questing in the caverns, I like sit there and wait and I like listen to like everything that anyone is saying. I read everything, I take everything in. But then when I'm in raid, I'm just like in the zone, I guess. I need to like actually like stop and be like, wait, people are saying things. This is lore. This is important.
A big part of it too is I don't think they do it in like a voiceover channel as it is. So I'm thinking of particularly when Neltharion and Rathian talk after failed experiments, you have to physically be there. So if you are in a raid atmosphere where it's like, okay, we got him down, going on to the next one, we're going to Skarn, like your group has already left before Neltharion walks up and he starts the RP.
Oh, that makes sense.
I only really caught it because it was at the failed experiments is the end of LFR. So as I was sitting there waiting for a trinket to be rolled, I listened to them. And then I specifically heard that he was like, maybe Sibelian's not such a little stinky baby boy. And I'm like, oh, is there one of these on the other side too? So after Rashok, yeah, the thing is he's like, all of these Jarden are dead. Maybe you can eat them and gain their firepower. And he was like, that's weird,
What?
Dad. And he was like, yeah, that's the thing is he's like, all these dead Jarden have like fire blood. Surely you can siphon it out to power yourself up, son. And he was like, I don't like that at all. I don't like you're implying that. And he goes, maybe you're too rigid in your ways. Your brother, who actually fought to earn his spot, maybe he'll be willing to do it.
He's just sowing discord. He's just being that evil
Yeah.
stepdad, even though he's their real dad. He's like, you know what, guys? Why don't you fight for me?
Also, like, as Slide and I mentioned, like I did not really absorb much lore that was happening in the raid because I was looking up things and whatnot. So are we supposed to, is the implication that like one wing is with Wrathion and one wing is with Sibelian? So like are the champions of Azeroth split here? Is this like a, air quotes, like in canon, like the Alliance will do one or the Horde will do the other, like that type of deal?
Yeah, that would not surprise me if in like the Chronicle Volume 8, when we eventually get here, it is implied that half the gang went with one and half the other, and then they met up at Zaskarn.
Zaskarn is such a casual word. Yeah, meet me in Zaskarn.
You know, this expansion and like in particular like the last patch and a half or whatever, it's like they really like the combination of like S's and Z's and apostrophes, and I'm like, how the fuck do we pronounce that? Like earlier, Aaron was just like Scarn, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably right.
Valdrassus. That's the 2 when you enter Valdrassus.
The thing is, we didn't hear it over Discord because Discord's like a fucking narc hater that's like, no, we will not play your harmonica. But like, since I am in the room with you, I heard that you played the harmonica.
That's great. So Aaron has no clue that I'm just playing the harmonica sometimes, but it will be on the Audacity files.
I did wonder what had happened because I was like, he just said throws your asses, and then no one said anything. So, but that does make sense that it's secret musical interludes.
Well, you see, what had happened was...
What had happened?
Anyways, I guess while we're talking about Raid, I mean, for those who care, and I don't really care, I don't normally follow, like, Race to World First, but it's over. I feel like, was this, like, one of the quicker ones that we've seen recently, though?
Yes, and that is an issue for some folks. But this is definitely, especially based after, God, what was it called? Well, you know what? I forgot how long Vault was. I forgot Vault of the Incarnates was a thing. I was thinking our last one was... God, last Shadowlands raid. Why can I not think of its name?
You know, like, even the ones that we played through, I'm like, bad at remembering their names, so, like, I don't fucking know.
Wow, you know, this is actually really... Because, like, for me, a lot of the theming of Shadowlands raids are very similar, right? You have Spiky Men, Automata fighting you, Dark Lady.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like we have, like, our nicknames for them, which normally helps me. So, like, Sanctum of Domination, Sadis, like, I remember that one.
Oh, duh. It was the Sephi, the Sepulchre of the first one.
The Sephi. How can we forget just... How can we forget that?
But yes, I was going to say, it's particularly short after Decepti took 12 years, but I don't remember Race to World First on Vault of the Incarnates.
I don't either, honestly. I mean,
this one is for sure like I think this one is the shortest in like a very long time, which was I believe the intention. So people are really mad. If you don't know about the end cinematic and you really care and you haven't seen it, then tune out now and come back in 5.5 minutes. The end cinematic is literally just... Are you gone? Okay, it's just Sarkareth, and he's like, "Oh, you killed me, Father. Did I mean nothing to you? And he dies, and it's just like a guy dying, and everyone's like, I can't believe that's the ending. Well, the alternative was literally the jailer being like, they're coming, and we're like, is there something scarier than the jailer? What? How? So like, this makes sense. This is good.
Which also, like, we can have a whole other conversation about that, because, like, has the jailers, like, they're coming, have they came yet? Are they still coming? Are they going to come? Like, is there come?
But no, what Slidewhistle was talking about, I was harping on, I didn't do it in any sort of public forum, but I was reading my newspaper and frowning at the articles I saw. Because yes, it plays into the story of Neltharion. We're all here to find his power. And he found his true successor in this guy who is like, I am willing to do anything for power. You see Sarkareth throw away his guys. You see him sacrifice them to bosses, sacrifice his everything to get this power. And then in the end, he's lying there like crying in a puddle, and he's shouting at the image of Neltharion in the stars. And was like, yeah, it was all this for nothing. I had everything. I had the power that you gave me. You entrusted me as like your firstborn child, because technically the Drakthir came before his biological children, and you forsook me and allowed me to die. And he's doing this in front of Wrathion and Sibelian, and they're sort of side-eyeing each other like, damn, that was going to be us. Like, we fully walked into here wanting to be this, and now we see that maybe we don't actually want to have Neltharion's power.
Yeah, and
So it shows that, I'm sorry, I'm raising my hands here. It shows really quickly, like thematically, development in their story, but people don't care to look at the story, so they're just like, I don't get it. He didn't explode. He didn't point at the next raid and tell me to go there.
No, that's exactly what I was just gonna say. Like, I don't understand how people are like that, like upset about this. I feel like this is more so just like progressing the storyline of like the actual Black Dragon flight. I don't fucking know. But also, like, I don't know, like Sarkareth, like literally everyone told you, like, your dad's dead. Like, what do you expect him to do? Like, we already like got rid of him, like, how many fucking years ago now?
Well, it seems like he was already void communicating in some aspect. So he probably had a little bit of madness going through his brain. Maybe he thought the echoes were real. Maybe, you know what I mean? There's a lot of other weird things happening. But do you think it's possible that when the jailer was like, oh, something's coming, blah, 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 and everyone thinks it's, oh, is it the void? Is this like a slow burn connecting piece? Like, it kind of feels like it is. Like, oh, Sarkareth, the void, it's back, Dragonflight discussion in the front. But like, this is probably going to lead in somehow to what happens in the future, right? Because he's communicating something.
Yeah, I would hope that the thing that they're seeing might be the same thing. Like, Zoval was scared of this big purple blob, and then Sarkareth saw this big purple blob in the distance. I would hope that it was not the jailer directly saying, like, oh no, Dragon Isle stuff. If in this new chapter we can all point towards something that we won't see for years, I'd be much more appreciative than just like, oh no, I saw the next expansion.
Because like the thing is, like, we don't really know, because like no Drakthir has died, right? Because so like we don't know, like, do they go to the Shadowlands? Like, is Sarkareth going to be thrown in front of the Pelgarbiter, like, right now, like, after we kill him in raid? I don't know.
Oh shit! Okay, you're right. We do. Every time a character dies, we have to think about the fucking Pelgarbiter now. Like, how is he judging their soul?
Yeah, and I mean, there were probably Drakthir that were killed 10,000 years ago, but like Zoval or Robot Arbiter were sending them places. Yeah, this is the first instance of Drakthir suddenly dying, and then Pelagos is like, I don't know what to do with you guys. How do you measure a life that was for so long and you didn't do anything with it?
Wait, that first, was it a Drakthir or was it a Draconoid that we saw killed that we were like, no, we loved her?
That was a Draconid.
Where do you think she went? I think she went to Bastion.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
Did you play her a song? Once again, I can't hear it, so I hear the opening half a second of Harmonica and just assume he went off.
Yeah, but like, I kind of agree though. Like, she probably went to Bastion, I would say, or maybe Maldraxxus.
I mean, she did have that one conversation with you after like her second quest where she was like, how many arms do you think is too many arms? And then you can give your answer, because, you know, it's silly. It's multiple choice. And she goes, I think you should have as many arms as you want. So I hope she's out there being like the left appendage of an abomination somewhere.
I was going to say,
it's what she always wanted.
I picked the option where she was like, should I be a short gnome skeleton? And I'm like, yes, you should. So I'm assuming that's what she is probably now. Speaking of short gnome skeletons, the race to world first has ended. Let me check my notes. Liquid won. As you can tell, I really didn't care this tier. Race to world first, I don't know. It's give or take for me. I think the theming of the raid really depends a lot to me, I guess.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna yuck anyone's yum that like really enjoys it, but like, I just don't care to like watch all these people that are really good at the game play the game. Like, I'm gonna see the raid eventually on my own time.
Well, I mean, we've watched some Race to World First before though. We've watched some.
I know, but like what I'm saying is like I don't feel like an allegiance to Liquid. Like yeah, like they're a North American team, so I'm like I guess cool. I'm not like yeehaw America because we're in North America. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't care like that.
Well, you know what? That's hilarious because this is the one instance when you should have been like, yeehaw, North America. Because when Liquid killed the Race to World First, when they killed Mythic Sarkareth, they had an Evoker on their team, and the first ever Evoker legendary tier piece, legendary weapon, it's a one-handed called something of Nazoru, whatever, dropped. And so they got it. And then I guess once that happened, Blizzard had this awesome protocol where, okay, so once that region gets
awesome protocol, a super rad piece of code.
The sickest code you can imagine. It made golden balls fall from the sky on every North American server. Sorry. Balls. Sorry, any of our Belgian listeners. We know you're out there. God fordoemert. But, so on North American servers only so far, there's these gold balls dropping from the sky, and you can collect them freely. It's like for all North American players to celebrate, you can get a free battle pet of a little golden orb. And I'm like, what?
Wait, is this real? Or are you?
I haven't seen the pet yet. It is the orb that's descending from the sky. Your character can just pick one and put it behind their head and be like, follow me, Belgian wedding.
It's exactly what it is. So, so you literally, here, I'll read the article right here. With the first unlock of the Evoker legendary weapon, Nazoru, the Unbound Legacy, players have noticed slight changes all around the Dragon Isles, mainly order orbs scattered in several locations. In addition to these, all players can obtain a new battle pet, the Mode of Nazoru. It's literally like a Star Wars Episode 1 Gungan celebration of, we did it, we so won!
Oh my god, this thing, I need to get this on my priest. This looks like my old friend. This looks like Full Pancake.
Oh, it is Full Pancake!
You had a friend, I probably saw this guy, but you had a friend whose name was colloquially Full Pancake.
Well, okay, so like there used to be, I don't fucking remember what it exactly was, but I think it was in Legion where priests
it floated behind your head and like extra healing went into this thing and it would pop off occasionally, right?
Yeah, and like when it was full, it would look like that, like a full orb. But like I was bad at the game back then, so mine only like. Slide would mainly just call it a pancake because it would look flat, because like my healing was bad, I think.
Okay, wait, no. Okay. Everybody here listening is familiar with the Amoeba Boys, right? From the Powerpuff Girls?
Of course. They were my third favorite Powerpuff Girls thread.
Okay, so take the tallest, skinniest Amoeba Boy, Stretch, we'll call his name.
The one who had... He had like a Kango, right? He had like a back.
No, Kango was the leader, I think. He had like a fedora. Imagine him, but instead of standing up, he's horizontal now. He's laying down and he's wiggling. And paint him golden. That's exactly what the pancake looked like. A laying down, swimming Amoeba Boy. I swear to God.
Do you remember the episode where they crippled the town of Townsville because they stole all the oranges from the supermarket?
The oranges. And they're like, you guys can just go, but we're thieves. No, you stole oranges.
And then the entire city got scurvy. It's like, we've come to beat you up, Amoeba Boys. So it's like, finally, we're a real threat.
I miss the Amoeba Boys. Anyway, sorry, everybody. Back to WoW. Get your North American pride. That's what I'm saying. You were shitting on it. And here, I'm going to play the North American National Anthem real quick.
We stand for the flag, and if you don't like it, we don't care.
North America.
We do things a little different, right?
Yeah, you're welcome, North America. Our new anthem, apparently.
Finally, us, Mexicans, Canadians, we can all come together and hold each other's hand as we summon our moats of Nazurus.
If there's one thing all of North America can come behind, like, forget NAFTA. It's the DN Army, and this is our theme song.
Okay, I'm putting the harmonica away, everybody. No one's under threat anymore. You're fine. You're safe now. Trust me.
Like I said, I loved it. It was greatly thematic. Because of the way it's recording, I couldn't hear it. So every silent moment, I was like, he could just be harmonicking over this, and I wouldn't know.
It'll be a fun surprise to you tomorrow morning.
Fun surprise.
Speaking of fun surprises, surprise, she's back. Shh, kicking open the window. It's Growlina. Greetings all. Growl here, back on the scene with my new pal, Penal. Peen, you and I just killed Professor Gastronax, the disgraced Algathar Academy alumni who's causing mischief here in these caverns. What do you think led him to this life of villainy?
It's hard to say, really. What causes anyone to turn to the dark side?
Money, power, booty, maybe?
That's gotta be the one. LOL. He was out here chasing some primal cheeks.
Whose cheeks do you think he was pursuing? I hate to be that girl, but there's not a lot of aesthetic beauty going on amongst our enemies.
Speak for yourself, bud. Have you seen Iridicron? That Caped Crusader's out here and he's about to make me act up.
Well, I certainly can't knock your taste in draconic, craggly men, and I'm glad that 10.1.5 will allow us to get a better look at those crusty cheeks. Speaking of future events, though, this segment is now in the past. Let's follow the sands of time into the second half of the show. Thanks, Growlina. And now we return from a blue post from 2 hours ago. Tee-hee-hee.
Breaking news. Blizzard has posted an initial response on the upgrading system, which I'm like, okay, what does this mean, Wildhead? And here the post reads as, the existing crest and fragment arrangement certainly contributes to inventory management concerns. While I can't promise anything, in italics, at this early stage, moving crests to the currency tab is under serious consideration, and I think, how often do people say I think? I think it's more likely to happen than not for next season.
Wait, the blue post says I think?
The blue post reads...
Guy, you make the decision.
Wait, well, there's more.
Also, who is this?
Okay, here, let me press view original. Let me get the name on the blue poster. Chimes has 9 posts. Chimes must be a new WoW dev because they are leaning. No, like, I think this is good. Like, to say I think shows that they're like, listen, I don't fucking know. Here's what might happen. I think it's more likely to happen than not for next season. Additionally, having players capped on a given tier of crest, getting the next tier down as fallback rewards is under discussion. And yes, I did implicitly reveal that our current tentative plans are that this system will be iterated on for Season 3. Whoa! I love chimes! They're real!
I feel like Blue Posts went from being like official to being like, this is the office gossip, and this is what I heard.
Yeah, it's like some guy like sitting in the vents of Blizzard being like, listen, I got this. Keep it under your hats here. Keep it under your Amoeba Boys hat here. But here's what's going down.
Okay, this could be why this is more personal. This was posted in the elusive WoW Community Council forum area. So they were like the people who they had handpicked to give feedback. They were all saying how they hate the crest system, basically. So that's why they had to make this very personable post.
And I feel like at this point in the season, I am just now kind of understanding how it's supposed to work. And the crafting component in this has been even more confusing to me when we've been trying to figure that out this week.
Yo, I'm a motherfucking crafter, and I just recently figured it out. And I'm like, oh, I can't make any of this because I don't have... I mean, I do have the gold to do it, hair flip, but I'm not paying... 180k for a Cobra skin. A single Cobra skin is 180k to make one wrist. What the fuck?
And you found out why, too, when you tried to get one for yourself.
Fun fact, I tried to do it again today and I didn't get it. So to get a Cobra skin, you have to be, this is not a joke, nobody can laugh, you have to be a master baiter.
Well, you just laughed.
I'm sorry, you expressly told me not to, but I don't even know what system that is in the World of Warcraft.
So as a skinner, I'm a skinner with a knife. I skin animals for skins. There is a talent tree spec option to go into baiting. Now, you know what? This is interesting. A lot of you probably don't know this. Skinning can do active things. They can actually craft bait out of animal meat, and they put the bait down in certain areas. So, like the Azure Span versus like Dragon Scale Expedition would yield different beasts, and you put the bait down. And a random beast will come and eat the bait, and this beast will give you more higher rare skins and could give you rare reagents. So there's a Cobra, and if you put the bait down in a volcanic area near the Jarradin, there is only one specific lava pool that we as skinners know of. It could summon a magma scale Cobra that you kill and skin, and you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting this 180k gold Cobra skin.
So it's not even guaranteed, and you can only do it once a day. That's so dumb.
Correct. Once a day. If you try to skin it again, you will never get one. People have done it and tried it. It does not work. And in the skinning tree, there's specifically one area that I feel like no sane person would ever spec into, that I spec'd into because I was like, this would be funny. And it's like, your bait will always attract the most elusive and secretive monsters. And I'm like, what does that mean? Let me get into that. So I am indeed a master baiter, and my success rate of getting this rare Cobra skin is 0 out of 2. It's stupid.
I don't know how I feel about the fact that they have penned all of you master baiters into one pool in the Dragon Isles. I don't know. I feel like if I had to see someone master baiting, I would appreciate that they spread it around. You know, it could be anywhere. I don't like flying to my rare and seeing 7 master baiters over by one specific area. I feel like focusing them really increases, it increases the unfriendly values.
Listen, Aaron, I'm going to need you to refrain from this. We are a sex-positive podcast. If the masturbators want to congregate in that bathhouse, that is up to them.
That's fair. You know what? I don't masturbate. I'm only an apprentice baiter myself. And so who am I to tell them what to do?
I do teach classes on the weekends, so just let me know.
I mean, and like me personally, I've never baited.
Honestly, baiting it's been super fucking lame. I put it down and a moose shows up and I kill the moose and it's like, oh, cool, I got 3 skins. And I'm like, okay, is that all I get? I've never actually found a use for this.
You're just pumping away and you're like, this is lame. This is terrible. Why do we do this? And you just see the guy, like he's reaching below the screen so you can't see what he's doing. You just gotta bait harder, bro.
Well, and here's how lame it is. I do my weekly leatherworking quests like the Dickens. I will buy the treaties for leatherworking. I will do all the quests for leatherworking. When it comes to skinning, I'm like, I don't care. I'm already a master baiter. I don't need to do anything else because the rest is just bullshit.
You know, that's the same with me too, because like on my priest, I do all the things to get like the knowledge points on my priest because like I have like tailoring and enchanting, but then on my hunter, who is like just has 2 gathering things with like herbalism and mining, I'm like, I don't care as much.
Just how the cookie crumbles.
Speaking of crumbling, let's talk about Blizzard's crumbling empire. BlizzCon's happening, and none of us are going.
Oh,
right?
No way, we never go. Yeah, of course we're fucking going to BlizzCon, motherfuckers.
No, we're telling them not to, so the tickets are cheaper.
No, we're not.
Come on.
Yeah, nobody should go to BlizzCon, and also you should email them and tell them to make tickets cheaper, just as a, who knows.
2 months from now, Steve's going to be like, Beans, no one's coming. Please buy our tickets. They're only $2 now.
Please buy our tickets. But yes, this week we did get the official announcement. I guess that means that it has officially been squiggly mark 2 weeks, and they can officially announce that BlizzCon is happening in Anaheim on November 3rd and 4th of 2023.
I'm so excited. And like part of me is like at this point now, I'm not even like that excited. No, I am excited for like the BlizzCon part because we're probably going to get Wait, what would the announcement be for WoW? It wouldn't be a new expansion. That's too soon. It would be the next patch, I guess.
No, I think it could legitimately probably be the next expansion.
Yeah, because what's happening in like 7 months?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So like my timeline is so skewed, and there hasn't been a BlizzCon in. Are we looking at 3 years, 4 years now? 2019.
2019 was the last one. Yeah.
The last physical one was 2019, and then did they do like was BlizzCon Line 2020 or was that 2021? I don't remember.
It had to be 2020. So yeah. So 19.
No, they've only done it twice. I think 2021, 2022. And I think 2020 they were just like, stay inside, everyone.
So yeah, I'm so excited to see what has changed in the Anaheim area. Please, Mexican restaurant that I love so much, and please survive.
Yo, they hooked us up. It was like one. I distinctly remember like us getting there like 30 minutes before happy hour is over, and then like the waitress is like, "I know you're here for happy hour, so like just order a few, and like if you just like chug one fast, and like we can make sure you get that deal on all the drinks you want."
With all of the fun adventures that they've been going on, I can't wait to see what this year's big cool meme is. Imagine to be right there in the audience for the second coming of Don't You Have Phones?
It's definitely going to be an Overwatch 2 thing. Gotta be.
Yes.
There's no way it won't be. Aaron Keller, you're in danger. Do not go to BlizzCon. People are going to beat you up. Be careful.
You think people
It's
will
us.
forget?
We're going to.
No, we're not.
You think
We
people will
not.
have forgotten in 7 months? But they will only take this time to sharpen their spears evermore.
Also, Ahoy of not Vince Ahoy. Vincent. He's like, oh my god, me? No, it's our Guildy Ahoy. He already reached out to us and was like, BlizzCon was announced. You guys going this year? And I'm like, we already are looking at a hotel and everything. And he's like, I'm gonna go and I'm bringing my corgi. He says,
Is he really?
Yeah, this was happening during the podcast like 20 minutes ago. I was talking to him.
But like also like for DN Army members, Aaron, this is your first BlizzCon that you're planning on going to, right?
No, I went to 2011.
Oh yeah. Who was the headliner for that one? Ready, go.
It was Tim Headliner himself. They got him. They said, accept no substitutes. Tim Headliner is here. And he walked in, and it was just a man with a very bulbous head. And he was like, hey, nerds, what's up? Who here is gay? And I was like, ooh, Tim, it was a little rough. But people were laughing. It was 2011. It was a different time.
Yo, we got Billy H. Let's go. I'm actually curious who was 2011's the Foo Fighters. Billy, that's right. Billy H. performing for the Foo Fighters.
He was up there on stage with the Foo Fighters. They were playing the song, and he was swinging his big head around fighting Foos.
What? Oh my god, wait, this is the first BlizzCon. Okay, since all the controversy, they said they would not allow them to be at the Hilton Bar anymore, right? Isn't that kind of like said in like...
Well, yeah, fucking, I don't know if anyone will even be there.
No, they will.
Like, to have fun. And that's not even like, let them have fun, guys. It's like, yeah, keep your fucking people on a leash, please.
I mean, yeah, because like, we have been to the Hilton Bar, what, 3 times now? 4 times? How many have you been to?
3.
This will be our 4th. So like we kind of like know like what to expect from the lobby, and I mean, let me tell you, it's not really much else other than dorks and nerds drinking beer and being like, "Is anyone gonna talk to me, or do I talk to them?" That's literally it. It's a will they, won't they dance.
Yeah, and then I was generous enough to talk to Slidewhistle, so he didn't have to worry anymore.
I was really worried.
Slide was doing that thing where he heard someone say torn, and he was kind of trying to edge into the conversation, but they didn't open up like a physical hole in the circle for him, so he was just putting his hand in and out like it was the hokey pokey.
Hey, I talked to and danced in front of Belle from Pwnecast. So therefore, I think I have a lot of merit going into this.
You have a lot of merit.
Merit?
Belle, please come back. Please come back to the podcast first. We miss you.
They booed me. They booed me at that party, though, because they had a microphone before you dance for the prize, and they thought I said, for the horde. But I said, fuck the horde. But I was trashed, and so everyone there was alliance, and I got booed by my peers.
Wow, you know what they say, drunk words, sober thoughts.
I said, fuck.
Slide's going to get on the mic this year and say, I'm a masturbator, and I am going to masturbate right here.
No,
And then everyone's going to kick him out, and he's going to be like, no, I'm funny lava snake joke.
This is the year that we do our most aggressive marketing. We should tell everybody about this fucking podcast. Because let me tell you, people were telling me about shit, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go to your website, and I checked them all out. They owe us a favor. They're gonna fucking be our listeners now.
We should just print out a bunch of flyers and leave them around.
We gotta make a new shirts.
I literally was like, let me get on Vistaprint right now and just make business cards and just have a box of them passing them around.
Yes, do that. Okay, so we need new shirts for BlizzCon, and we need those fucking cards. That'd be great.
I'm excited, and I feel like this has been something that everyone's been waiting for a while, obviously.
Okay, so we read the lovely Wooly's review earlier, but we did mention that he had a D an hour thought, and now that we have gotten through the major news of the week, let us return to our good friend's writings. He says that he would like to offer up some potential lore justification that could be implemented to make some strange race-class combinations make sense. Because last week, when they announced that everyone can be a warlock except for Drakthir, Slide was very adamant that they did not include his people. We kind of poo-pooed some of them, Slide mostly. So he starts with Lightforged Draenei. Well, he says Lightforged Space Goat Warlocks. First off, warlocks don't fuck with the Fel and demons because they're friends. It's about control and mastery. Like, you tortured and enslaved us, so now enjoy being dominated, mofo. The way I see it, using the light to subjugate and force demons to do their bidding would sound appealing to a Lightforged Draenei after a millennia fighting them. And I gotta say, I mean, it does make sense.
I disagree.
It's one of those things where, traditionally most warlocks have been like, I am working with the demons to summon this. But you could headcanon it being like, I'm controlling them because now I'm in charge. Once we were equals on the battlefield, now I am your master.
And what we do know about the Lightforged Draenei, if they are left to their own devices, your role on whatever alternate timeline that is, they just dominate anything that they perceive as a foe, right?
When left to their own devices, they become psychotic.
I think my argument of the Lightforged Draenei isn't really based in... I mean, it is a little bit based in the Fel and the Light, which is true. I guess the Fel people aren't yeah, we love you. It's just this is a host of power. But in my head, I guess I kind of see the Light and the Fel as... Was it the Shadow? The Light and the Fel as a union and confederacy. The Light says we will kill the Confederates, the Warlock Fel, and we will kill them no matter what. Our job is to contain them. Our job is to murder them. And when offered the choice for a Union soldier to join the Confederacy, their own brothers who are very similar, the same country, they're the same basis, they say, hell fucking no, their values are in the ground. They're working with demons. We're working with our boy Angel Lady, whoever the hell's up there at the top of the ladder there, Derek. They're working with Derek. They don't want to work with anybody who's in the fucking dirty Fel side, right? They're mortal enemies. They are the yin and yang. They're bashing their heads against each other. They wouldn't want to absorb that. Some might, but I don't know.
It sounds like your automated system over there wanted to weigh in.
She said, I found this on the web, and it was a yin yang Roblox Wikipedia article.
What did you
Our
say
first
to set her off?
Roblox cover.
I tapped her so quick that now I think I can't even see what she has suggested to me. So it's gone forever, folks.
But Wooly continues by then saying, Void Elf Paladins, hear me out. So let's talk about druids for a second. Zandalari druids and Kultiran druids specifically. Neither of them are the traditional Cenarian druids like Night Elves or Tauren. Kultirans connect to druidry through life and death. Zandalari do it through the Loa. In a similar way, it would require graphical changes to things like Consecrate. Velf Paladins could use and control the Void to champion their cause. It's a stretch, but it works in my opinion, like a Shadow Priest in plate armor.
Well, I don't know about specifically saying I'm going to summon the light or this light power through Shadow. He does touch upon something that I feel like they need to do more, and that is paladins, priests, anyone who summons borrows power from a particular source. I feel like we need to play around more with how they get it. It goes back to the theory we threw out a long time ago where like Dark Iron Paladins, they should be getting their powers from like the Firelands or something like that.
Yes.
So if you were to have Void Elf Paladins, I would prefer all of their abilities are like mysterious purple and mystical black. But you could say like, yes, this Shadow Lord, this Void Lord is giving me these powers. They're just called and look the same thing as Paladin moves.
I think if they were to do that, if they were to make all of the Void Up Paladins moves like Consecrate and just like bubble, everything, if they just gave it a purple tint, which I think they would almost have to, right? Then I'm okay with it as long as I get a short to medium length quest line that specifically lays out to me in lore to them why this is okay and why it's good, and then I'm good. But then you're right. This comes back to the Dark Iron shit, because if they fucking make a Void Paladin and they give them Void everything and they don't give the Dark Iron dwarfs fire anything, then there's a problem. Then you should skin every Paladin to be what their god is.
Okay, so I'm fucking up here, but you know how there's evil Naru, like my mom? I feel like they could get it from, like, an evil Naru. Like, Laura could be like,
Yeah.
I once bestowed light upon my disciples. Now I shall bestow darkness upon you guys. Like, we have, like, a Shadow the Hedgehog anti-hero evil Naru that gives them their powers.
I mean, I could see that. That's one way that this could work. But alternatively, like, you guys will probably hate that I'm saying this, but, like, I don't know. I could see Void Elves just straight up being Paladins, especially if they were Paladins before they became Void Elves. It would just kind of be, like, in lore, like, why are undead able to be priests? Like, if the light hurts them, you know? Like, maybe they could just be Paladins still, but, like, the light hurts and conflicts with them.
For reference, Immune is okay with any class being any spec, so therefore he's already biased in his opinion about this.
I think it would be fine. I think our solution would be cooler, but I don't intrinsically hate Void Elf Paladin because, yeah, I really don't know. I'd have to go back to do that Void Elf intro quest again to see like how in tune they were with the Void Lords. If what I remember is correct, the fighting ghost just kind of filled them with energy, and then when he left, they're like, we can't get this out of us. So it could be they don't even necessarily like have void in them anymore. They're just like, my body was ruined from this experience.
Yeah, like that's all I want. I just want them to justify it and not be like, and here's a new thing we can do. Now, with the Warlock quests, some of them were straight up just like, this is why we are doing this, and this is why, and that's great. There is I read the reason that the Golden Draenei, what are they called? The Lightforged Draenei would be okay with being fell, and I can't remember it, but I remember being like, oh, that's okay, that's serviceable. That's in the middle. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't the worst, but it was like, okay, well, I mean, like, if I squint really hard, I guess I can see why you would do that. I guess. Just that's it. That's all I ask is an actual reason why each different thing would be this. That's it. Is that reasonable?
No, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, and I feel like you're a little too hard on me for saying what I said last week. But anyways, I will continue with Wooly's email, and then he says, Pandaren Demon Hunters, it'd be fucking hilarious, so do it, Blizz. I mean, on this one, I have no notes. I agree, 10 out of 10. Do it, Blizz.
Yes.
Do not
Now,
do it.
I mean, it'd be hilarious.
Oh, that's right. You guys don't play Demon Hunt. See, you guys need to play every spec in the game. I'm telling you. You guys need to dabble in other classes. Hunter and Priest, old. Mage, old.
Oh my God!
Well, anyways, yes, I'm sorry I do not hop into the hero class every so often. But my question, I mean, yes, it would be funny, tee-hee-hee. My question is, do we have demon hunters that still hang out with us? They seem to be a class sort of outside of the faction structure, and Illidan's gone forever. Are there other demon hunters that are walking around and like reporting into Alliance military or the Horde Council?
So there are, but that's
like the demon hunters of Legion. Canonically, they stopped at Legion.
That's
right?
kind of one of the problems with one of the races. Then is demon hunters right now. The specs, they don't. I as a demon hunter from Legion, I couldn't tell you who we report to. I'm trying to think. So Illidan left. So I selected one of two people to be Illidan's number 2, and I could not tell you which one I picked. No, there's one in BC who's a blood elf who I said I'm not picking you. And that was it. I couldn't tell you what the Night Elf's name is, but he's in charge.
Is Shade of Akama technically in charge?
No.
Still?
Shade of Akama...
Is Shade of Akama, is he the leader?
He wasn't a leader, he was a bodyguard. So he reports to me. So honestly, I think the Demon Hunter's the player's in charge. We're the Slayer now, so we're in charge. So that's why nothing's getting done, because we're busy raiding and doing nothing else.
So it's really on the community that other people aren't demon hunters, because there's not like someone to teach. It's up to Illidan and Illidon't and Illidori to be teaching, and they've been slipping.
Well, because I feel like canonically, like lore-wise, there's probably only 5 demon hunters on Azeroth. I don't feel like there's not a lot of them. Like there's not like anywhere near as many of them as there are like human hunters on Azeroth, you know?
No. There's a lot of us.
I would
There's
say
a lot of us.
not 5, but I would say based on what I saw in the various cutscenes and the story stuff, I mean, we're probably looking at what, like under 500.
Okay, wait, everyone slow down. So the thing with Demon, I think it's more than that. The issue is demon hunters aren't replenishable, or they are, but we're not doing it right now. But so are the undead. Like, yes, it's easy to raise corpses, whatever. But like, there's thousands of blood elves and night elves who were just like, here, eat a demon heart. That's it. Eat it. Just eat it. Like, he had a huge camp.
The eating of the heart is actually tough, right? Like you can fail, and I was about to say, so that's tough. Not only do you need to get a lot of blood elves and a lot of night elves, which that's a dwindling resource, but then you also have to make them all eat hearts, and only like 25% of them are making it out of that.
So sad.
So Wooly signs off of his email here by saying, anyway, long email is long. Go forth and tickle nutsacks. Wooly.
Balls.
Clap, 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 clap. So this may be our final discussion here before we wrap things up. But for those who didn't know, and I'm mostly bringing up this week despite not knowing a lot because it's counting down till after next week, but there is a counter above my man Calicos's head. I think it's at 4 days. Do we know anything about what's going to happen with that?
I mean, no, I don't personally. What are we now like in the storyline? We're 6 out of 7 if we're current. Is that what we're at?
Yes.
So maybe like he'll be involved in next week's campaign, because we didn't get any new campaign this week, did we?
No, we did not. No. And we have yet to receive the text that's like, the quest that's like, I can't believe what happened in Aberrus. And you go, what happened? And it shows you the final cutscene.
Yeah, so I assume that whatever has happened with Calicos will be a storyline in the wake of the Aberrus.
It's just so weird because I saw people were data mining the countdown above his head, and I was like, well, that's weird. How'd they turn that on? But then I physically saw him yesterday, and he still has it. But when you talk to him, he doesn't say anything, but it's just like, 5 days, champion. 5 days till something epic happens.
Is that when we're getting the conclusion of the story, I assume? The campaign?
I guess, yeah, based on what it was yesterday, then counting 5 days in the future would be Tuesday of next week.
It's weird that we didn't get it this week, but I guess I can kind of get it. Like, they're not using the mythic kill as a basis for what the average player's doing. So they're like, all right, we're going to give you fuckers another week to kill us on heroic. And I'm like, oh, we'll maybe be starting heroic with our guild on that point. But like, that's probably like a good point for like a middle of the ground average base, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm curious to see like what involvement like he has in this, because it's been a while since we've had blue Dragonflight story beats, right? Since questing in the Azure Span, I think.
Yeah, and he has an after image that's walking around Loam. I can't find it all the time, but I've seen him around. So he's got eyes on the situation. So something must be happening next week where he decides to like instant transmission down there.
That's the sound of the IT.
The IT department working, trying to make this broken game work. Bleh. Speaking of broken games, here's my favorite broken segment at the end of the show. It's the top toot, bottom boot, medium moot. And Slidewhistle, I want to hear yours first.
I got a big fat top this week.
I can't make that
Teach.
noise with my mouth.
Top harmonica.
I've been hanging out with my favorite people, the Drog Bar in the Zerolite Caverns. We've been working out, we've been getting swole, bro, and we've been snail racing, doing a lot of snail racing with our boy,
Big Slick in the city.
Slick. I almost said stink, not stink, Slick.
He's
Well, there's
causing
lot
a
of
big
stink jokes
stink.
down in the caverns, though.
Get this, if you don't know, now you know. If you have snails from other regions, you can pull them out of your pet inventory, have them next to you. You can talk to the main snail racer man. I think his name is Briggle, Briggul. And he'll be like, what is that beautiful otherworldly snail you have? And then he'll give you 100 rep if you show him a 25 level snail pet.
I was about to say, asterisk, it has to be level 25.
That's super easy to get though. So you can get you can get a 25 Battlestone leveler from the person in Veldraken. Her name is like Veljara. Good luck figuring that out. For only 35 pet Battlestones. It's super cheap. You just have some lying around probably. And if you don't, there's a rare in Maldraxxus. Yes, I know. Shadowlands. If you go to Maldraxxus and kill the Shroom guy, he can drop up to 50 to 60 pet tokens, which is 2 battle pet stones. So check your snails, level them up, talk to this man. And I think we're rep 3 out of 5. I've done like 0 dailies. I've just showed him snails that I had and that I bought off the auction house for large amounts of money.
The Drog Bar is so fucking weird. You're like, you're basically just like, yeah, I'm gonna lift weights with you, bro. And then you're like, hey, look at this snail I found in Maldraxxus.
So I did spend 150k on snail pets that were level 25. No, sorry, they're level 1. But there was only one of each of these snails on the auction house, right? So I bought them. Then I went to the Pet Battle Stone person. I bought 5 upgraded Pet Battle Stones to my snails, upgraded them, and then I put them back on the marketplace after showing him the Drog Bar for twice the price. And they're the only snail on the market. Is someone going to buy them? Probably not. But I can lower the price, and if you two want to mooch off of my snail success, I was trying to merge there.
Oof.
I can loan you the pets, and you guys can hang out with them and show them to the Drog Bar, and then give them back to me.
They're gonna be like, Slidewhistle already showed us this stinky snail.
Flip him over.
Look, and he's going to point at like its Sneerial number, and it's like,
It's the same snail that I've been shown by 7 different guys. I smell collusion.
and then you see Big Slick in the city is going to like furrow its eye stalks and cross its non-existent arms like,
You let Big Slick down.
A collusion? What are you hiding?
Briggle, no.
Boo.
Yeah, My top 2 is just snail racing. I've been living down there. I'm fun. I can't wait to get a Drogbar Reputation 5. We're going to be homies. What about you, Aaron? What's your top 2, bottom boot, medium boot?
Well, I have a simple one this week. It is a top toot.
Toot.
So, for anyone who didn't know, which was literally everyone, unless you were keeping up to date with your Traders Tenders journal, last week for 3 days, it was National Hot Balloon Day.
Balloon Dave.
And I can tell you, Balloon Day itself is the bottomest of boots. That shit fucking stinks. But I did happen to cue into it with 2 other lovely lady Worgans. We're talking about Katisha Jenkins and Vaelina, Agent of the Black Prince. And they were in my balloon with me. And we were talking a whole bunch, Katisha and I. And then at the end, they were like, yeah, my friend and I were in voice. They said that they didn't want to put the effort into talking, so I should do all of it. But you were pretty cool, so they feel bad for not talking.
I'm honestly surprised that there were enough people to start the event with you.
Well, it did take a very long time, and I asked them, are you guys celebrating Balloon Day? And they said, we're just trying to get the 100 tenders points that it gives you. And I said, that's more than fair. But hey, that is a success for the Traders Tender system, because it made someone remember Balloon Day.
That's true. I mean, because I feel like in the past we just happened to be looking at the calendar and be like, what's this?
Yeah, I told them, I said, I already got my Rocket Turtle 2 weeks ago. I'm just in it for the love of the game. And they said, that's terrible. But we had a real conversation, and that was pretty neat. So, Immune, what is your TTBBMM?
Well, you see, I have another top toot.
Triple toot this week.
And my top 2 is, I believe I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but there is this website called Questionably Epic that I've used to kind of get an idea. It used to just be Blood Mallet for healers to tell you which trinkets sim better. Mainly is how I would use it. And it was only specific healing specs that could be able to use this. But with this, I believe with this patch, they are now live on any healer can use it just like raid bots. You use a /simc, plug in your shit, and it tells you your highest HPS output of your gear. And healers have never really had this before, and I just think that it's so cool. So huge shout out to them. I can it was so funny in the past, when I was just maining just my priest, and Slide would always have to sim all of his gear because on whatever DPS character he's playing, and then he was like, how are you choosing what's in your vault? And I'm like, vibes and feelings. And he's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, there's no way. Do you have any better way to help me? And he's like, no.
Why am I just not hearing about this? Your fucking boyfriend, you didn't tell us in person? You have a fucking way to sim that shit, or just to see what's best?
Well, I mean, as of literally 2 days ago, yeah.
2 days ago? I've seen you at least twice across those 2 days.
Yeah. It didn't come across in conversation.
Wow. You know what? I'm gonna find me a man who tells me about his HPS ranking sheets.
Bunny want questionably epic log to tell me highest HPS output gear.
Give me back my harmonica so I can make bad sounds at you. And second of all, I did tell you could go to the mist weaving site for the mist weaving section for healing. Not that you're a mist weaver, but there was one that existed that I knew about.
Yeah, but they were the only ones that had one.
Whose fault is that? You're a priest. Why didn't you make one?
You are very good at spreadsheets. You could have done it.
He played the harmonica this time. Aaron didn't hear it.
Because he handed it to me and he said, take this from me. I can't help myself. I'm just going to keep doing it. So then, I just on my desk now, and now I can't help myself.
Aaron's like, what the fuck did I get into?
I'm going to say these words to distract myself from playing the harmonica. These words are thanking our $5 a month patrons. They are Command Sergeant Major Tujurla, fourth host of the podcast, Joe Monkey, Ahoy Vince, NSYNC/Drag Race, Azarin, Digital Dave, Mitch, who wants to remind everyone that Rathion isn't daddy, he's a literal child. Crucifix, Saracen Hawk, Sasha Zen Soup, Big Fat Ugly Bugface Baby Eating Adorno says, I. Baby Gersh, Myth Gersh, Wooly, Big Bear 13, Muv, Adam N, Icus, Nova Dark, SSDB, Same Soup, Different Bowl, Vanderlyle, D Gibson, Generational Talent, Smurf to Bass God, Slidewhistle says...
He played the harmonica.
That's what I assumed. And Will, a.k.a. Tire, Trade Chat's fallen father.
With that, we are out of here. We're leading the charge out the fucking door because we got some keys to run. Or no, we were a fool and we're doing second raid like idiots again.
You goobers.
I gotta get the Vocal Legendary. We didn't kill the raid boss. If you have any comments, questions, complaints, anything, your Harmonica soundbook says give me tips how to play better, send it to donotrelenttpod@gmail.com and or navarrocoffin@gmail.com. What about you two? Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me, Alex, or Immunization on Twitter at New Era Alex. You can find our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent. You can join our podcast Discord by going to DoNotRelent.com. And you can join our Patreon by going to patreon.com/Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at thebigacheesy on twitter.com. You can read the show's literary musings at donotRelent.livejournal.com. And you can watch me play videograms on Twitch at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. Shout out to everyone who came by to earn the Blazing Hippogriff with me. No one was around when I got it, so I fucking shut that shit down.
Blazing hearts, burning farts.
You know, that's what my mother always said.
That means...
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.